the most important thing that sells is popular food, add on innovations, they become talking points, and that's where the driver starts from. The restaurant driver, that's where it starts from, and then start innovating. But because for small restaurant chains, the biggest challenge is innovation, investing in innovation, investing in logistics, till the time they grow to a size. But yes, having all this thing back in the mind, it becomes very, very important that you must have all this back in your mind. And the innovator becomes what is that you offer. Now, what you offer becomes very important. We all know that, customer is always the God because he keeps traveling around. When he comes back, he talks about what he ate probably, somewhere in the world. For chefs like us on television, it also becomes important that we hear him out because we capture recipes from him, showcase our style on television. We capture what he speaks and introduce in menus. Try to learn because today's date, technology helps us move ahead in whatever we are seeing, or whatever we are hearing out from people. So, customer is God, was God, and always will be God, because for me, I keep hearing him out, and we all keep hearing him out, as probably we all would be, I'm sure, endorsing this fact that when international chains of restaurants came into the country, all of them came in with whatever offering they had internationally, but they always changed to what India had to accept. So whether it was a Pizza Hut or a McDonald's, they had to understand, they had to use a language which we understood. So a tikka, a paneer tikka pizza became popular, because that's what we understood, So that's where innovation came from, and that trend will continue. So for us to understand, when we go out setting restaurants all across the country, of course there is a set of offering which the brand has to offer, but understanding from what local market is eating becomes very important, and then working around that segment or that part of the country would be important, that innovate for those people so that they understand, they feel good, that the offering is also from local, something which is local. And as we heard Sanjeev also saying that yes, everybody talks about health, yes, but the fact is इंडिया इज़ अ कंट्री जहाँ पे नॉर्थ में देखा जाए तो उपास कितने होते हैं यार, मंगलवार, बृहस्पतिवार, नवरात्रे, पता नहीं कई सारे उपास होते हैं. So that's when people start going veggie. That's when health innovations can come in. So for a non-veg restaurant, it becomes very important that for restaurants that serve non-veg food, it becomes very important how do they differentiate the factors, which probably restaurants are saying that, color coding them green and offering, or specifying that, okay, the offering is only vegetarian and non-veg becomes limited. So that's what the trend we will see, and which will only keep growing. Of course, when it comes to trends, machines and is something, automation is something which we can't forget. That is very, very important for us. So automation is something which helps us build consistency, and that's what all chefs probably, look into and think that, okay, if there is an automation, there is a consistency that can be derived of. And that's where large companies like Vector Foods come in and they start helping you out with various things. When it comes to design, people do tend to go to new places because it's feel good. It gives them a happy feeling. So designs become important. And of course, there are preventive things which would keep coming in, taxes, etc. But when it comes to innovation, I think the most important thing is for everybody who's into business to keep their ears and eyes open, to listen to people. I also believe that for large companies, which we will see, food companies especially, they, for reaching out to people, because most of the time they don't get to know the people who sit right on the top, they don't get to know, they would come up with restaurants, which we see Unilever coming up with brew cafes, and I think many companies would follow the trend of opening them, because that's the direct one-point contact of the customer to understand what he wants, what the need is, what the taste is, how does one capture the correct information that is acquired from the customer himself. So I think innovation and trends is something which will keep evolving for restaurants which are established, for food habits which are established, but there should be one differential factor which should change, but that differential factor should be understood by people well. Like to sum up, I understand and we all understand गांधी जी ने, वापस वही कहूँगा मैं, आज़ादी दिला दी नमक से. एक शख्स ने नमक स्वाद अनुसार डाल दिया और मैंने एनर्जी डाल दी. थैंक यू सो मच जी. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर लिसनिंग.